Welcome everybody. It's that time of the day again, that time of the week. We are back with the F1 Cockpit View Racing Season 6 here in Belgium. And tonight will be a special night, as not only will we have two streams running, one in English commentary, the one currently we are watching, and one in Spanish for our Spanish viewers, but also tonight, I will be joined by my new fellow colleague, Joseph. Say hello, Joseph.
Hello, good to see you all. And yeah, very happy to be watching this league for the first time and ready to rumble.
Right, so let's get down
yeah.
into the business here. Let me run you down. Currently, what is the teams and driver standings for tonight's race in Belgium? Starting off, currently we have the top three constructors for the time being. We have the Kicksauber McLaren Alpine currently in a battle for second place between the Kicksauber and the McLaren. The Kicksauber leading with 335 points and just close behind McLaren with 319, and Alpine with a bigger gap with 246. Looking forward to maybe in the second half of the season to catch back. Or obviously 24 races still. 24 races in the entire season. We're currently only in round 13. We still have 11 rounds to go with this one included. So looking forward to maybe see the constructors heating up even in the top three. But what is more important is the drivers' standings. We have Chris Sniper currently still topping the leaderboards. Last year's champion, of course, the McLaren driver, 236 points, leading not comfortably, as the Kicksauber Fernando is right behind with 225 points. That's 11 points, and that can be gained with just one weekend. As tonight we have a sprint race as well, going into that later. First jump completes a top three. The McLaren kick and Alpine trio, even in the driver standings, are taking the top three spots. But now onto the juicy part in the calendar. We see that tonight, the 30th of January, the third race of the year, I believe it is, with Canada, with Canada, Austria, and Britain. This is a fourth race of the year, and as we see, it's green marked, which means that we have a sprint weekend tonight, which will add one small race for the people who are new to racing and to the concept of sprint races. A sprint race adds a little mini weekend extra into it, which means we have two qualifying sessions and two races. One qualifying session being a shorter one for the sprint race with a 50% length of a sprint, which I believe is eight laps or 11 laps. I think it's 8 laps if I'm not mistaken. We will figure that one out. We will find that out soon. And
8
followed.
laps.
8 laps? Okay, thank you for the confirmation. It's 8 laps in the sprint, followed by, I believe then it's 16 laps in the full race of the Belgium Grand Prix. So, would you like to introduce yourself, Joseph, before we go into the race, into the track part of it?
Yes, I shall certainly. I'm a commentator. Different sim races. I have my own channel with loads of them on there. I've been commentating on sim racing for about 3 years, and I did my first real life commentary at a hill climb back in May 2025, the Warrington Hill Climb, and then since then, since November 24th, 2025, I've had my own radio show, which is currently running every Friday at 12 till 2, if you want to tune into that one. And I'm also due to commentate a Brit car on March 21st as well. So the commentary path is very much the path I'm going down at the moment. And yeah, but at the moment, in the here and now, ready to commentate on Cockpit Real Racing for Season 6 here in Belgium.
So big names here in the commentary box as well.
Yeah.
Right. As we kick off, the lobby should start at any minute now, of course. Any little information. We have a few quali bands, which I will run you down now, which should be in the outcome here. Here we go. So we have a few qualifying bands. I believe one of them going into going to Mr. Kriko, who last time did not serve a quali ban, so they will have to do it now. It's an Essen driver, number 16. While the Mercedes driver has five penalty points each, which will result in a quali ban as well. The Mercedes driver and the Haas driver with no assists also has reached 5 penalty points, which will also result in a race in the quali ban, which will only be served for the full race qualifying, not the sprint qualifying. There we will see them drive. Now the penalty point system, which is valid for only a single race, running you down with 5 points reached. It's a qualifying ban. If you reach 9 points, you get 2 qualifying bans. So for the next weekend and the weekend afterwards, 12 points will mean a race ban for your first race ban. 14 points and 15 points respectively will be 2 race bans, and then 24 points, you're out, you're gone. Hopefully we won't see that reached. Currently we are only seeing 5 penalty points. We're still everywhere in the clear. We see the driver points. Mr. Krieger currently with the lowest of 17, starting with 24. Still heaps to go, of course. We aren't that technical, and also hopefully not looking forward to more crashes. But, well, I'm running out of things to say. Joseph, want to run down the...
Yeah, well, you said about not having crashes, but if there's any kind of rain or anything like that, then that whole not crashing thing will completely be put on its lid. As Spa, as we know, can cause massive crashes, especially on the opening lap at the start of what will be 2 races here. Some starts that may come to mind: 2012, 2018, 1998, all big wrecks within the first sector. But even after that, there's the technical second sector. This track is probably one of the hardest ones to set your car up for, as you want low downforce for the first sector and kind of high downforce for the second sector, but then the third sector is a bit of both as well. You've got to kind of really balance the car out and try and get that car. Yeah, it's a very difficult balancing act for setup. In terms of driving, though, it is a driver's dream. It is a proper sports car, race car track, and yeah, we'll be seeing some frantic action over 200 miles an hour here today with all 17 of the drivers. So we'll be starting in 24 seconds time.
So that's enough time for me to introduce you to the Spa track, or also known as Spa-Francorchamps. Not really known as Belgian Grand Prix. The Spa track with a circle length of 7 kilometers with 4 meters as well, but 7 kilometers. First Grand Prix held with the first Formula 1 weekend in 1950 with the full number of laps of 44, but tonight we have a 50% race, so it will be 22. Sergio Perez held the fastest race lap with a 1:44.701. Always I remind you that lap time will probably be nowhere near, the lap times we'll see today will be way faster than we will see what Sergio Perez has done. But with the track, last source, turn 1, uphill turn braking point, so we'll see a few lockups maybe. It's a hairpin, so very difficult to get right, as we heard turn 1 in the race. That could be a point for chaos. And then up to turn 3, 4, and 5, the famous Eau Rouge Radion complex, as everyone only knows as Eau Rouge, obviously Radion being top of the hill. One where side-by-side action can happen, but you really... That's Radion, actually. That's wheel knowledge. Going up the hill towards the Camel Straight, there's a right-hander with the turn 6. Then coming up to the chicane of 789, Le Coms. Hard braking point, double chicane basically. Easy first real overtaking spot off the track. We will look how that will go, and then up down to Bruxelles, long downhill right-hander. There can be some gnarly outside overtakes, as of course the traction will be less on the outside, but if you get your car positioned just right, we can see into No Name turn 11, a good overtake, and then up to Pouon. With these cars, if you have the correct setup, which we just heard can be all over, we could go flat, but the tire will not like that, and down towards campus with 13, 14, and 15. 13 and 14, a complex, just a bit bit difficult. If you get another overtake opportunity there, the curbs are not easy to run, but they can be used. And then through Stavilo, 15 and 16, that's where we will see our first side by side out onto the curb Paul Frère. I probably butchered that one. Then up towards Blanchimont, very famous, and much chaos to be seen there as well. And then the bus up chicane. Who doesn't know that? The sharpest part of the track, the slowest part of the track, with an uphill chicane. But left to the track. Now let's cut to the action here in Formula 1 25, and hopefully OBS picks that. And here we go. Obviously, just a reminder, my name is Captain Foxy. I'm the commentator, and with me tonight is Joseph, and hopefully will be joining me for the rest of the season. Of course, we had a few hiccups here and there in the commentary box, but this time it will run smoothly. Let me stop the music now as we are out onto the track. And I really opened the wrong thing there. Right, what do you expect tonight for the jump? What do you expect tonight?
Not too sure, to be honest. I didn't really much of the practice times, so I'm going into this a little bit blind, I must say so myself. I recognise the name Petrocam from somewhere. I'm not too sure where from though. And I see SBR. Oh no, SRP Atom. No, I've read that wrong. But I think most of the people here, I don't know, apart from maybe Petrocam, because I recognise that name. I don't know if that's from Ground Effect Racing League or maybe STB. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to keep an eye on him because that does ring a bell. Obviously, Sayerton Penna, who's the owner, he'll be looking to own the field today. No assist, obviously, with a quality man looking for a comeback. Yeah, Frankie and Ganado as well. And we also have Forrest Jump, who's about to jump onto his first lap here in qualifying at Spa in sprint quali.
We know going into tonight, Chris Racing and Forrest Jump still battling for the front of the field. Last season round, they went into the final round as championship contenders, where Chris Racing in Suzuka, that was the final round last time, had a gnarly mistake. Pardon me, no, it was at the beginning of this season, had a gnarly mistake which cost him the win, dropping himself down to P5, which gave Forrest Jump the first time the taste of the lead of the championship. Obviously, last season round, Chris Racing won it as Forrest Jump had to jump out of the final round, which made him open to lose the championship. But this time round, looking to maybe get revenge from last season, season 5, that was down to teeth and nail if Forrest Jump would have gone in. Let's look how that runs. But of course, new names as well. We have seen the Kick Sauber of Hermanos last season round as well, showing a big name at the beginning of the season as well. Top 3 basically very close, but who knows, more of the season. Adam being a new name as well, joining in. Carl's new name. We have so many new names joining in. Being half the season, there's still a lot to go. Maybe we'll see in the midfield a lot of jumping as well. We will go after the weekend. We will run you down the standings. But for now, let's look at Forrest Jump's opening banker lap.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at SRP active times for a comparison, and Forrest Jump is up on through sector 2, so it looks like Forrest Jump will have provisional pole against the Mercedes. This is on a lap, I think, potentially that's a 1:42.0 to set the benchmark time. The Mercedes of SRP comes over the line at 43.4. And the Forrest Jump's teammate gets a stonking lap of 1:41.4. That's over 2 seconds quicker than SRP. But it's also quicker than Ricky Stinky, who's had a stinking lap. He's in P4 at the moment, slowest of the people who have set a time. Meanwhile, we have Chris S Racing, who's got over the line, 43.4. He's 100th behind Atom, exactly, which is quite incredible. Dad goes over the line, gets a 45.3, and a couple thousandths behind, a couple hundredths, should I say, behind Ricky Stinky. Petrocam, I should be watching him, as he has just gone 3/10 ahead of the man in 6th, but he's a couple tenths away. Meanwhile, the Sauber of Hernamo has gone up into P3, into the podium positions. The fastest man in, no, Actually, no, the second fastest man in the 142 region with a 142.1. Meanwhile, in P4, the other McLaren of PFM, who has been setting hot laps in Assetto Corsa recently, and I tried to beat it, failed miserably. So this man has some pace in Assetto Corsa, and it looks like it's translating here. Meanwhile, we have one of the V cars on lap, the No Sebo, looking to surge up the order today. Fox.
Currently, a few cars still on the outlap. The bank collapse currently going down with cars in first. Jump to two Alpines, as we heard, going currently front of the grid, taking out the front row for the opening. But obviously, as the track goes, for the two people who are new to sim racing, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much for choosing us to watch. But also for the track, it will become better to drive on. The grip levels will increase as the rubber of the tires. It's very technical talk, obviously not going into it much now, but the track will go green, saying that way the more the cars drive on, so the lap times will go down. But one specific key, what I'm noticing now, it's starting to rain. Could become a wet
I'm
end of
noticing that as
qualifying.
well.
So now
I'm on
these
board
laps
with
count
Sig
a
Pampo.
lot. These are the laps
Yeah,
that count the most before it becomes too wet to drive on.
Yeah, Pampo making it count. I'll be riding on board with him, and yeah, you're right. It's definitely sprinkling. Depends how heavy the rain is gonna be, though. But that is definite raindrops on the circuit, but depends if the circuit gets hit hard enough by them for lap times to drop off. But from what I know at Silverstone, at least, when it had similar conditions like this, the lap times started to drop at around level of rain, so because obviously the tires lose their heat and lose their grip as a result. So these laps are going to be super crucial now here in sprint qualifying with 4.5 minutes to go. Frankie in P16, I'm just looking at him. He's the next guy to cross the line and set a lap. This is a lap time good enough for P12, 3/10 ahead, 2/10 ahead, should I say, ahead of Dancer, the Netherlands dancer in the Aston Martin, as Casey retires from the session, and that's one of the Red Bulls up to P6. Ali Goloslow up into P6 behind Sig Pampa, and 5 thousandths ahead of Atom. Gap smaller than Atom's at this rate here in qualifying. Meanwhile, we have Roddy on the lap on the medium tyres. Let's see if he can set anything good. He'll probably regret using those medium tyres and saving them for, I don't know, if he's trying to save soft tyres for the main qualifying. Let's see what lap time Roddy does, Fox.
That's what I was going to knock on. The medium tires being out for qualifying. That is something that I haven't seen often. Obviously, Spa being quite a heating on a track where the tires get heated up quite a lot. During the end of the lap, you will notice the softs dropping due to the temperatures. But is that the smart choice for one-shot quality? Obviously, with the rain now, the temperatures could be dropping and the grip could be crucial. The softer the tire, the better. But for us, one driver that we know is a top runner going with the medium tires knows probably something that a few drivers don't know. The soft runners obviously going out the shot, trying more. Rain is still dropping the track, but it doesn't seem that it's affecting the cars too much for now. Looking forward to it. Still obviously two drivers who haven't done a lap, as we said. There are some. We have some cars who have a qualifying ban, obviously which won't count now, will go on later, but Gerardo, no assists, not having done laps yet, they need to get out on tracks as soon as they can before really the rain makes a big difference. So what is happening with the Alpine?
Just have a look down the order, Rodin, and like there's a lots of people that I'm looking at now that are on medium tyres, so I reckon that they're probably saving soft tyres for the actual qualifying session, because the men in P3 and P4, they've done their best lap on mediums. Chris S Racing has done his best lap on mediums. Petrocam has done mediums. Frankie done mediums, and Ronin has done mediums. So a lot of what I'd call prime tyres that last longer. A lot of prime tyre runners here in qualifying. There's no assist, does a soft tyre lap going on 148.2, but this is, yeah, very interesting to see the diversity in tyres here in this sprint qualifying.
Joseph, what has happened to Kati, provisional pole sitter? He has retired from the session. Has he? Has he gone into the barrier?
Yeah, he, he retired ages ago. I think he just retired in the garage because it started raining. He
He's
probably
that
wasn't going to get a
confident.
better lap time out of it. But
He's that confident. Looking at what Hanano could do with
to be
the
fair,
first
to
softs.
be fair, 6 tenths over the to be fair, 6 tenths over the rest of the field. I think he should be feeling quite confident up there as the lead Alpine and the lead driver at the moment. But the French army of Alpine looking to really put the hammer down on the field.
Just looking at Hanano here, he started a new lap on the soft compound. He's going for that one final run. Obviously, we see a lot of cars not out on track anymore. Hanano being one of the final cars who has done it. He was a bit blocked by the no assist Haas there, I believe it was, out of the Lecom
Yeah.
complex. So looking at what he can do through here, but it seems that he's struggling on traction. He's not braking as late as we saw, but also going wide on a few corners. It's too wet. It's too wet now for the dry compounds.
Yeah, it looks like it. Just have a look at Petrocam as well. He's way down on this lap. He was 2 tenths down heading out of sector 2, and he's backed off of the lap. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone out. Atom doesn't look like he's on the lap either. I reckon they're just doing race experience laps, just clocking in laps to see if they can gain consistency for the sprint and for the race. Trying to see if they can improve race pace and get a feeling of what the track will be like in this kind of conditions if it's raining for the race. Unfortunately, as a commentator, we don't get the radar, so we don't know if it's going to rain for the race or not. But the drivers and the teams will know what the radars look like. So if it is going to rain in the race later, these race experience like that, and the Saubers and no assist, these laps will probably count in the sprint race more than the qualifying laps.
As we say there, qualifying comes to an end. It's just at the end here. So currently the Ferrari being the one of the final cars, the Mercedes of Adam being the final car to cross the line, going into pit lane. That's we see. And so, well, that is our qualifying session with Kasi just clocking in one banker lap, saying, "Yo, that's enough for me. I'm happy with that lap." Retiring immediately, and it was right. He was right. No one could match him. First jump being the closest, 6 tenths behind, and that could be a good focus for who we could look for the sprint race to go up ahead.
Yeah, that is going to be massive. This kind of reminds me of like the mid-70s when Renault used to be the top dog in F1. Obviously, it's not under the Renault name anymore, but it's still under Renault engines. And seeing them at the top of the table is a real flashback in a half.
Not
Also, the
anymore.
Saubers having a really competent session, up in 3rd and 5th respectively. McLaren as well, not too bad. The Mercedes and the Red Bull doing good for their half of the team, but I don't know if they have teammates or not. But if they do, yeah, the Ronin are doing the best job of to catch up to his teammate. Obviously, in F1 you normally try and compare yourself to your teammate, but yeah, great session for the Alpines, great session for the Saubers, and very good session for the McLarens. But the Ferraris haven't had the best of sessions. Neither have the Haas, and the sole remaining Aston Martin and Mercedes. They've done enough, but they'll be looking for a bit better in the sprint, which will happen in due course.
So it seems to be a dry track for the sprint. Obviously, not exactly what their drivers were hoping for. Seems to be sunny, no clouds inside, and it's an early morning session, so the sun could actually do play a role here, depending on what quality the drivers are, the graphics quality the drivers are playing. They could get blinded down towards the downhand after Lecompte, and I believe it's just after Pouan, where the sun could become a bit of an issue. Obviously, hope it is a
Yeah,
realistic league. Gotta have to knock on that. The drivers are stuck in cockpit cam. No racing line, no assist, no nothing. They are driving exactly as the real life drivers would, of course, as much as the game can simulate that. So nothing will be helpful on that side. It's a setup that does the heavy lifting and also the skill level. And with just a few seconds, the driver setting their setup up now. I believe no formation lap for the sprinter will be all a race down into turn 1. Who do you think will take the front for turn after turn 1?
very interesting because it's such a short run to turn 1, and depending on how aggressive this field is, it could. I reckon it will be an Alpine or potentially a Sauber, but I don't see it being anyone else. But depending on the aggression and depending on how much you want to risk in the sprint alone, it's really going to be difficult. I reckon some of them are going to be cautious near the front, but the ones at the back are normally the ones that are going for moves and trying to make or break their races. So I reckon moves into turn one that might go wrong, that could happen, but I reckon we're seeing a Alpine or a Sauber at the front today, potentially the McLaren of PFM as well.
As we touched on, the Alpine's taking a 1-2 with Fernando in P3, the McLaren of Pier Francesco in P4, Sig Bumper in P5, Ale Golosio in P6, SRP Adam in P7, Chris Racing surprisingly P8, one of the top runners being back there, Dino Sabo, also a bit surprising. He has fought for the win for P9 and then Patrick in P10, but here we are for the formation lap. I'm sorry, there's one. So let's do the actual formation order starters I'd like to do. So I'm going to take a bit of a spotlight here. Carsley in P1 with, let's also look at the tire compound. So drivers are racing medium so far, looking for a no-stop race. Carsley at the front taking the medium compounds, also looking forward to maybe be the one who takes first after turn one. Little disadvantage, so he has the disadvantage of being on the outside, so whoever is on his inside will be able to take that opportunity. Then we have Forrest Jump P2, his teammate, with Fernando in P3 taking that kick Sauber to where real life we only saw it once last year with McLaren Pier Francesco and the kick Sauber teammate of Sig Bumper in P5, Ale Golosio in P6 with SRP Adam in P7, Chris Racing surprising as said P8 with Nosebo in P9, Petrocam P10, and Satin Penna looking to maybe get a jump up in front. Had a podium run nearly in Miami, but couldn't get it together with the traction as was difficult on the final sector. Looking forward to maybe get it this time. Ricky Stanicki in the Williams down in P12 with the Golf livery. One car that's lovely to look at. Maybe looking forward to see it more often. The Racing Bull V Cup of Frankie Dance. 99 in P14, Ron in P15, no assist. We saw P8, 16 and Gerardo, who surprisingly didn't do a lap, down in P17. And well, with that, let's have a look down. Who can take what position up in the front? We heard from Joseph a very good information. We could be seeing an Alpine leading up from the front, or maybe the Kick Saubers getting that position. But of course, it's just guessing at this point. We don't know. What the thing that I'm doing to this, Carsley has taken quite a bit of a huge gap to his teammate, and I'm sorry, I believe Paul is now on the inside. They switched that up. I remember Paul being on the outside.
Yeah, Paul is not sometimes on the outside, but for Spa, because it's such a short run, it is on the inside. Bit like, not Silverstone, I'm thinking of another track, but I can't remember it right now, but yeah, no, Paul is on the inside. I'm very surprised at how Carsley, pulled away from the field like that, because now his tyres are going to be just sat there getting cold and reducing grip at the start. So let's see how this plays out for him.
Here we are now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. As it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 here in Belgium for the sprint. And look at the kicks out of Hernando, immediately for the outside. Could he get the traction? Can he get the run? He's still there, but it's Cassie still taking the lead. Forrest Jump has lost it. Pier Francesco stays in people, but got in position as well. Sig Bumper has lost one. And in the back, what's going on? Side by side between the cars. Holy dear, who's coming up in front? That's incredible. You see cars going off. Out of Radion. What's going to be a huge bunch of cars going into La Source, who will come up on this freeway back here. There's yellow flags. Chris is in the gravel. Gibbons is in the gravel as well.
Sauber, Chris and Hernando colliding at the Cockpit chicane. There was a collision with the Ferrari. I'm pretty sure that was Ganado losing his front wing. A lot of Constantino in the back. Going through the column, Forrest Jump went ahead of the Sauber. The Sauber tried to cut in, and there's a V car back.
There's cars off!
Corner.
What? Oh!
It's a playground with carbon fiber at the no-name corner.
Sig
And
Pampus out as
the
well!
best thing from the Death Bunker that I've ever seen in my life. There's a puncture for Pampos. He's got a puncture on his front right tyre. And there's a lot of front wing damage, lots of debris. I'm very surprised that isn't at least a virtual safety car.
There's nothing.
Yeah, Forest Jump made the move on Sig Pampos. Pampos, I think, tried to cut back in to take the inside, and in doing so, the McLaren was already on the inside of him and has caused contact. That's that's Pierre down the order in P8, and he's just overtaken Sierton Penna. But Casey leads after the first lap. What an absolute chaotic scrap. The Alpines get very close together, and the Red Bull now of Ali Golaslow now looking to make amends for this. There's a yellow flag with the V-guard.
As we have 4P8, Petrochem getting past the Ferrari. Was a good overtake out of turn 1, but... Oh, what's happening?
Leader swap. Leader swap. It's Forest Jump and Carsey swap places. The Renault, or the Alpine, should I say, swapping places. We have a new leader.
Incredible racing so far with a heaps of egg as well. The bottom 5 all in the pits for changing the damage on front wing. Pierre Francesco in the McLaren stays out with that half the wing that he has. Interesting. What is going on there? We will have to see maybe a replay after the race. Or watching back the broadcast what exactly happened, but that was incredible that so many drivers were included in an incident out of no name. But also in front, First Jump took the opportunity on his teammate, was right open out of the camel straight. Obviously they help with the S, but look at that. First Jump has gapped his teammate. He's dropped and gone more than 1 second, so Kelsey is not in the DS zone anymore. Neither is Alegoloso, who also immense start. He started down in P8, P7, I believe, the Red Bull, up into the podium stop. Oh, what's happened to Ricky Sanicki? Wait, who? Frankie is out.
Not too sure. It's also Bernardo. Bernardo spins, and also the other Ferrari of Penna's off as well. Disaster for 3 Scuderia cars. One used to be a Scuderia Toro Rosso, and the others are Scuderia Ferraris. One of them nearly spun, that was Bernardo, but also Sierton Penna with half a front wing was halfway round at the Paul Ferrer curve. Absolute chaos here at Spa. Not too sure. I think there might be a battle between the Haas and the Williams for P9. It's all calming down after the opening lap chaos.
The gaps start to increase. Few drivers are up there more the second. We have no assist and Ricky Sanicki going maybe with the DS advantage closer together. No assist is closing in. He's even looking for an opening. Looks for the inside, but couldn't get close enough. But in the back, it's gone absolutely chaotic. Frankie, I think, has spun, gone himself out. So has Sierton Penna out of the Stavolo, I believe it was. Stavolo complex of turns 15, pardon me there, and lost the front wing. Luckily, didn't get much. And of course, the track got updated back in 2024 with the wall being put further behind. He could have gotten his car also out, but not too far. Carson got himself back into the S to his teammate. We could maybe see an opportunity between the Alpines down the camel straight again. The second DS opportunity, but the one big DS zone, we could be seeing some feisty battles there. But in the back, it's all going close as well between Hernando and Chris Racing. These two, they know each other very well. But on track, we could see them. As no assist, it's also closing on the Petrochem. But let's stay up here on the front battle as Cassie's dropped out of the DS zone again.
Yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of battles forming now. I'm just going to keep an eye on Chris Racing and Alo Goslow, as that looks like a battle that will close. As the Williams of Ricky Stinky, who's getting loose, no assists, now looking to take no prisoners. Big lockup for Petrochem. That's, well, that in a Seto Corsa, that would be flat spots, but that's only going to be heated tyres for now. But let's see, is the McLaren of Chris S Racing, is he going to make the move heading in to the Le Compliqué? No, he's nowhere near close enough. Meanwhile, the Williams of Ricky Stinky to the outside and 2 in 8th place. It's the Hasses in 9th and 10th. the Williams in this race up into P8.
That was a well done and dusted move. Very educated there with the ES and a bit of help of the EIS system. But also Petrocam having a bit of front wing damage did not help it out of the Eau Rouge complex. But up in front, again, Cartier, it's the same sector where he closes in down to 1 second. But it seems the first jump, this could seem the first jump is running a lower downforce setup than Cartier. Cartier closes in on the technical part of the track, but once the straights come in, first jump gets it. But that's happened! Hernano's out! He's out of the session! He's spun! There he is, on the inside!
He spun out of the corner! Yeah, he had a massive sap of oversteer on the exit of No Name corner, and a mere 3-4 corners later, he's lit the rears up, potentially touched the gravel, and got spat onto the inside wall. Out of the sprint.
Yeah, pardon me there. Here we go. Now we see for the podium positions could heat up. We have the McLaren of Chris Racing, our championship leader, looking to gain as many points as he can up from his championship rival first jump up to Eau Rouge and ready on the McLaren. Now has the help of DS after this little bollard here opens and with an educated overtake on the inside with DS open does it nice and easy, nice and tidy towards Lecombe is up in front with nowhere near the McLaren Red Bull having a chance to overtake, and so Chris Racing moves up to the podium position.
Meanwhile, Mikey Stinky has a lot of straight line speed going down Camel Straight. He's just closed about 3 or 4 tenths to No Sebo in that straight. It's No Sebo looking a little bit shaky at the moment, looking a bit hesitant under braking. Looking to just conserve the car home. He's got a little bit of wing damage on the right-hand side, driver's right-hand side of his car. The Williams loving life. Meanwhile, any of the battles down the field at the moment here in Cockpit Real Racing here at Spa. The Alpines getting ever closer together, but the closest battle on track, according to the telemetry, is the Haas battle between No Assist and Petrocam.
It's all happening down on our screen here into the entry of the back straight with the go-kart track being on the inside. So these 4 cars are the closest on track, but also eyes on the telemetry on the times between the Alpines. They are closest they've ever been for the final 2 laps of the race. We can see maybe a chance of positions against the front after the Eau Rouge complex, but Nocebo's keeping it nice and tidy in front of the Williams. Even with the front wing damage, he will feel it through the complex part of the track, but with the straights now coming, he won't have as much trouble as he will, as I said there. But with the lockup into turn 1, the Williams gains heaps of time there, and here we go, the Alpines for the chain of lead. Cartier on the inside goes back up in front and takes back the lead that he's gotten from the qualifying session. Can first jump respond back onto the downhill right-hander. Not quite, because the dirty end now kicks in for the second Alpine here, and he will suffer through these complex here and needs to back out. Looking for maybe a second chance. Obviously, with the next 2 laps, there's still a chance, but we're now back onto the Haas's and the Williams and the Racing Bull. This is very close here for the four-way battle.
Yeah, Rikey's thinking, having a little look, but it looks like they're saving their ERS for the entire lap up until that straight, because that V-Cup was being caught at a rate and burned just on the exit of Radion all the way about halfway down the Camel Straight. And although Rikey Stinky was burning a bit as well, he wasn't able to get close enough. This is great ERS strategy, and what used to be Kerr's strategy back in 2012 between these two, but the Williams getting very close, heading through what is known as the Piff Paff chicane into the Stavalo corners. And the Alpines getting... Oh, I thought they were getting close together, but no, that's the minimap looking closer than it is in reality. But these 4 cars, the battle for 6th between No Sebo, Rikey Stinky, Petrocam, and No Assists, very incredible indeed in all of them.
So going now up to the bus-up chicane, there was a problem with the SRP Adam. His game probably crashed. He's down in last place, wasn't a lot of time. But now back on the Haas. Oh, lots of traction lost there for a Petrocam, but he's looking very close to the Williams. Or the camera make it more close, but the Haas has collected some damage in the past 2 laps. So the the left end plate is missing for the front wing, which you heard through the dirty air up on Rusha and Radion. But he's a bit far to not feel the fullest. But let's have a look down to the straight. You see the V-Cup going full the fences.
The Haas's.
Look at
Haas's
side by side. He's done it. He's gone through. No assists. Up into P8, getting his teammate. But could he get a double whammy here? Yes, he does. He does. For the inside of the exit of Lecombe. And he's gone up into P7. Incredible work. No assists made it easy.
Oh. And the Williams getting all loosey-goosey out of the Lecombe chicane, and while he's been looking on form for the last few laps, it looks like maybe those tyres are dying off. But he is slipping and sliding. He is on an ice rink. Meanwhile, there's a battle for 13th here between Penna and Pampos. Pampos to the outside, just waves past Penna and gets up into 13th.
Nice and educated there up into the kick Sauber using the battery to help. Of course, Ferrari is a sitting duck. He didn't have the S to his teammate up in front, so really not much help. Not team players, of course, we would have expected. But no points as well. The only top 8 get points, so we'll see how the top 3 will end. But look at it here. Ricky Stanicki has lost a lot of ground, but Petrocam now close behind. Can his front wing damage, will his front wing damage slow him down? Or will he still have enough? But no assist is gaining heaps to Nosebo, who's still sliding around and locking up. He is struggling on those mediums.
Yeah, that was a big lockup. The tyre degradation isn't gonna like that. That was Nosebo on the front, on the driver's front right, locking up. But now the Haas looks like he's got a bad run out of the Radion corner. And it looks like Williams is going to go through.
As we're on the final lap of the race as well, we're going to have to keep our eyes up in front between Kart and Forrest Jumper. It seems really done and dusted for Karty, who's leading by nearly 2.5 seconds here in Belgium for the sprint race. We'll cut to them as they cross the line. But this battle, this four-way battle here is absolutely taking our attention away from the top runners. It's incredible that Nosebo with the damage is keeping this mad train behind. There's no opening that everyone's seeing, but the Williams has now gained back the traction they've lost, probably got the temperatures back into the range they wanted, overheated probably in the last 2 laps, and now Ricky Stanicki could be looking to maybe find that one singular opening he needs this lap, but we have to cut in front as Karty crosses the final corner to win this sprint race here in Belgium. Incredible work. First jump, does a little burnout. Second, oh, Chris nearly loses it to cross for the podium position. Incredible from P8 down. Sen Bennett's crash, he's out of the race. And that's Alonso and Pierre Francesco Curling. Who will be the car who crosses first out of this four-way battle? It seems to be Nosebo. Oh, that's a mistake! That's a mistake! Who comes out? Who's coming out of front? That's Nosebo who crosses. Oh, look at Petrocam! Oh, that's a tenth difference! Incredible!
Photo finish. Photo finish between Carol and Incredible. As I thought the V-Cup was going spinning round them, but no. Incredible car control, incredible skill by all the drivers, great awareness to avoid any contact. Almost a move there by Ronin on Dance, but Dance is able to dance over the line in front of Ronin. And the Sauber and Ganado, I think Ganado passed his teammate, and then his teammate hit the gravel on the exit of the Lecombe chicane. We just wait for RP Assen to go over the line to finish the first of what will be 2 races here at Spa, as Ganado running out of fuel at the end, I think.
Well, wow, I'm speechless. This race has given us a lot of information to look forward to for the full race. 22 laps to look forward to. This was just 8 laps, and I'm already running out of breath, so I'm looking forward to 22 laps of chaos in front of us. But obviously now, with the full race, we will also have strategies to be playing a role, because tire wear obviously was a role here in the sprint, But not enough. But let me run you down the top 10 of the sprint. Kasi from pole has taken a win. Not an easy win. The first jump has given a bit of a battle there in front. But first jump takes P2 behind. Chris Racing, incredible. Down from P8. Has got himself into P3 with Ali Golozio. Incredible as well. Started from the back in the midfield up to P4. Nearly got the podium. Pier Francesco had started P5, got P5. Then Notable, incredible battle between Notes, Ricky Siki and Petrocam. And that's complete a top 10. And that's an amazing sprint. I'm already at awe that just 8 laps can give us that much action. That's just Belgium for you. In real life, maybe some people might say it's got a bit boring with these cars, but in the sim, it's a complete different story as the skill difference makes it a breaker. And look at this. It's a wet qualifying session. As I believe my second commentator for the moment is slightly gone, so I'll be taking over for now. It's a wet qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. What can we look forward to? Well, it's already from the first qualifying for the sprint. It's been already a bit of a crazy one to be said. We had a bit of action here and there. At the start, we had only that one lap that cost that practically did the grid, pardon me. And so looking forward to maybe like the wet qualifying can bring us forward. It looks to be an intermediate type of situation. So it's all together. Kasi retires immediately.
Kasi out, incredible.
Kasi's out. And what's going on there? I believe he's because Kasi doesn't have a. No, he doesn't. Why is he left? That's a confusing thing to say. Well, we have a few cars going out onto the intermediate compounds, looking to get that first banker lap. Obviously, we'll see how the weather goes on. As Joseph said, we don't have a radar, so it could clear up at the end of the session. But with an intermediate, with a light rain, we could already see a bit of a drier line as the session goes on. So the laps can heaps improve, but shocks that Kasi is out, as he's shown great potential in the sprint. Obviously a new name, as I said, from qualifying in the sprint. Interesting, maybe doing a last first, maybe being very cocky and saying, look, I can go from bottom to top. Will we see that maybe?
Yeah, that, or that we potentially disconnected and Wi-Fi reliability issues coming into play. And sometimes if you disconnect in qualifying, it does retire the car, which is really annoying. Yeah, I'm not too sure. If you see something on the bottom of the screen that says Kasi has joined the session, that will confirm it is a Wi-Fi issue. But I don't think I saw Kasi leaving the session. It was
no, indeed,
very peculiar indeed.
Indeed, usually the game gives the driver just if it is an internet issue / game issue. You will only be kicked from the session. Your car will still be existing in the session as he could be joining. But this is straight up. He has retired. His name is grayed out. That means he's gone from the session, retired. And, well, it's interesting. The Alpines being in a championship battle, that's not something you'd like to see. That one of your cars jumps out of qualifying. Who will be the first car to start a lap? It will be most likely a kick Sauber of Frankie. It is the kick Sauber of Frankie. So let's have an onboard look on how the traction is for the qualifying session.
Yeah, it's coming out of turn 1.
It's a bit of a traction loss at the exit. I mean, Joseph, I believe we're losing connection to your microphone. Is glitching out. Hopefully, we'll have you back. Frankie, having some trouble with the traction. Let's have a look if that's better. Joseph, give us the lap around here. Following Frankie.
Following Frankie. So, where is Frankie? Let me find him. He's in P16 at the moment. He did pretty good in the sprint, but then having through no name, crank the lock in, try and scrub the tyres a bit to get a bit of heat into them. Now into P1, brake at the start of the 50-meter board, turn it in, missing the apex a little bit there, accelerating on the way out, traffic management going on at turn 5 and 6 at the Longcombe chicane. heading into what's known as the Piff Path chicane or the Fanya chicane. It's got a couple names, this little complex. Now, heading out, he's trying to avoid the curves, which is very smart to do, especially in the wet weather. Curves can be very slippery indeed, but there is reward to them, but there is way more risk than reward, I must say so myself, as he's got the benchmark set to what the benchmark time will be. For him, you don't need to worry, you just need to make the shortest line possible, which he is doing at the moment. He's a bit more inside Blanchemont corner, but safer than sorry. Through there, out of the bus stop chicane, wind the power up, stroke the throttle like it's your favourite cat, and over the line with a 156.2. Let's see if anyone's going faster behind. Forrest Jump is going faster, he jumps by about 2 seconds. Here comes the Red Bull of Ale Goloslo. Heads up to P2, 3/10 behind the Alpine Jump. Here comes Chris racing on pole position by half a tenth of a second. And now, let's see, there's the other McLaren of Pierre, Italian, goes up to one. It's a McLaren 1-2. This is very familiar to real life in 2025. F1, meanwhile, we have Hernanos making up for the mistake in the sprint. He spun in the sprint, now he's spun the wheels up, and he's up into P4, 2/10 ahead of his nearest rival behind. Meanwhile, we have, I think, one of the Aston Martins coming over the line. We have Petrocam going to P6, but we have the Aston Martin ending an outlap, and we have the Mercedes of Mr. Greco coming up to the line now, and he goes.
He has a qualifying ban.
Not too sure. He set a time now, 1:58.8.
From last I heard, Mr. Creco has a qualifying ban,
bit of a
he will have to
Mr.
serve
Creco
that.
being a little bit of a rebel here.
He will have to serve that in the next race, but that will serve into more penalty points, unfortunate. Well, we'll have to see how that will be settled by the stewards, as of course, that is something that he's not allowed to do. This, as I said at the beginning, there is a rule with penalty points. If you get too many, you can only look at your first race ban. Mr. Pico is getting a bit of in the danger zone of the first race ban, so he should be a bit of a good boy here and not break the rules like he is. But yeah, going back to the action, but something to note for the viewers, ladies and gentlemen watching, that's a bit of a weird situation going out on track.
Yeah, looks like Mr. Creco being a bit of a rebel. Not too sure if the principal will be happy with that one in terms of the stewards. Meanwhile, Ronin in the Brad Pitt helmet. Let's see if he can do a bit of a Hollywood performance over the line. He's behind a Ferrari and a McLaren. The Ferrari of Sayed and Penna goes to what is now P10. The McLaren goes, I don't think he went any faster. And then Ronin goes to P7. The Red Bull of Ali Galoslin and 4/10 behind the V-Carb. As meanwhile, here comes the other Haas of Petrocam, who goes to 6th. Decent lap by himself. The Sauber's going over the line. Is that Sig Pampo? No, but Sig Pampo is on a lap, so we're going to keep an eye on his time on the XF Sector 2. It looks like the track is slowly drying up from what I can tell. I don't think it's ever going to dry enough for slicks, but it is improving from what I can tell.
So the dry line is starting to be created by the cars going on doing the hot laps, and I'm seeing a bit of team play here as well. The ex-teammates aside, Sig Pampo and Secorado going off the track, a bit of slipstream happening there, so Sig Pampo could be looking for a good lap here. As you said, the track is drying out a little bit. The dry line has gone. It's starting to lag a little as well on the track, but here we go, across the line. Sig Pampo goes for P7 respectfully after that good lap, and we have 9 minutes left in the session, and that's about 4 to 5 laps with the length of the track. We'll be seeing just about a few out laps, but as a yellow sector P, that's for blue flags, I believe. Looking so in the mid part of the qualifying section to look to McLaren 1-2 lockout for now, with PF Francesco taking the front spot with half a second nearly gained. First Jump takes the third place. respectfully, but with Fernando not far behind as well. Again, got the very close gap. And then first jump, just taking
Ooh,
away
nice
from the
jump.
mouth, going for a provisional pole position here for the race. And what's going on? They are
Doesn't
battling
he
here.
attempt goes to pole? Yeah,
Yes,
quality
enabled.
battle
It's
for the
getting
ages
dry.
here.
It's getting dry. It stopped raining.
Running to P3. Running to P3, and no, he's not. I thought he was 1,000th off of second place there. No, he is 2 seconds off of the man in front of him. No, he isn't, because Petrocam comes out of nowhere. Steals the show, goes up into third. The track is improving here. As you can tell, these mental laps coming in. Dance is now going to come out the last corner. Let's see what he does in the Aston Martin. Let's do a little dance. The Macarena potentially. He's going to go to 11th as the Sauber now of... Who is the Sauber? That is not Hernano, so that would be Sig Pampa. 1.3 seconds up. Is that going to be enough to potentially threaten for pole position? This track turnaround could see a very shaken up grid. More shaken up than a milkshake. I think that Sig Pampa strokes the throttle like his favourite cat. Goes over the line to P3, but on the podium. As now, I think that was potentially running as Cam just got blocked there by one of the Mercedes. Too short what it looks like. It might have been Atom. Atom's the only Mercedes on track right now.
Well,
so Atom could get called for blocking. Running 1.3 up now.
We have information on the track. Gas has become available. So the rain has stopped. Stewards have decided that gas is available, and I'm seeing already cars starting to take that, biting the bullet and going for the dry compound with the softs. We have a few cars already, so looking forward to maybe seeing the times absolutely jumbled and scrubbed as running goes again for 1.3. It's incredible time right there, but obviously these times that we see at the front, they will be taken out of the water once the soft run is finally complete the laps. As the track is, in this game, gets dry in about 1 to 2 laps, so there's absolutely no time to be lost here. So everyone who is on the intermediate has to jump into the pit lane, change the tires as soon as they can, because the soft compounds will be the fastest to go out Let's have a look.
SRP Atom nearly just caused a crash there with Dance. In the middle of the track, Dance was braking and there was almost contact between the pair of them. Oh, that was heart in the mouth stuff to even watch, let alone be a part of. Meanwhile, Sig Pampos coming around Blanchimont corner. He was third a minute ago. Ronin took it away from him by 3/10. Is there now going to be a switch in the order between the Sauber and the Red Bull? Has the track even improved enough for Sig Pampol to go up to second?
He's gone up to
He
pole.
goes better. He goes to pole.
Provisional pole position.
Gennaro going over the line now. He's not. He's slower. As now that is one of the McLarens. He's ready for an hour. He's going in. So the McLaren of Chris going in.
It's dry.
Yeah, it's completely dry.
So Frankie,
that's incredible.
First car to do a banker lap now on the dry compounds. Let's have a look at how much of an improvement there is. We saw in sprint qualifying that the top lap was a 1:41. 10 seconds faster than the current provisional pole position. Can Frankie immediately get himself into that window? Because there's only 5 minutes left. If everyone needs to go out as soon as they can, or in about a minute time, and we will probably see the biggest train in qualifying we have seen so far. And look at that, Frankie, 1.7 seconds gain in sector 1 alone. That's that. The track is dry. The soft compound is the compound to be on, and who will be taking this final provisional pole position? Because it's basically a one-shot qualifying at this point, except for the cars who are out on track now.
Yes, Frankie, this is reminding me of like so many mixed sessions coming to my head. One being Spa 2021 with George Russell setting a crazy lap, and the whole shock quality there. Also Monza 2017, another shaken up grid as well. Turkey 2020, well, that's another great example of conditions shaking the session up, and it looks like it's about to shake the session up again, because Frankie, currently in P15, I don't think he's going to be P15 for long. I don't know about you, Fox, but heading into the bus stop chicane, last 2 corners on the track, braking at the 100-meter board, climbing those curbs like it's a rock climbing wall, and stamping on the throttle, and going to pole by a huge margin. That's mental. Now we have one of the Mercedes. Who is this? That is Mr. Kirko, who goes deep, very deep. He invalidates at the last corner. Heartbreak for him. Meanwhile, the other house of Petrocam is ending an outlap. What on earth is about to happen here in this bowling session?
So we have
Petrocam, what
Mercedes, our first car to get again purple sector 1. That's incredible. He's going now down the hill right hand, and the traction just seems to be gaining. The soft compounds are just here. That's their rights to their grounds to be on and to put on. Let's have a look. Is there even a lift? Just about. 7th gear through the long left-hander. Absolutely no, absolutely full-on pedal to the metal. Going through these couple of corners here, and it's incredible how much traction is being from just 2 minutes ago. It's still very slippery, and now we just see the cars going through this track like it's nothing. It's gained 8 seconds. 8 sector to 1 and 2 together. It from its final run from 155, it increases by 8 seconds. Frankie will definitely be blown out the water here. Will the kicks of V-Cups be in a bit of a better spot for the full race and run the sprint? We will find out now. But looking up the hill, there's a second V-Cup going now for their lap. It's Nosebo who crosses with 144.899. But there's a Red Bull immediately behind. Pardon me, that's not Elgozio. So it is the second Red Bull of running. How will he be? He's
also Petrocam. Petrocam on a lap, and he was over 7 seconds off on his previous lap. This could be another of the millions of drivers who have taken a provisional pole in this session. Over the line for Petrocam, he stands on the throttle with pride and takes pole position by 0.2 of a second. Not for how much longer? Because we have, not Gennaro, oh, we have someone else coming to the line. That is one of the McLarens, I believe. No, they're on an outlap. Who's the next person to go over the line? It'll be Dance. Where's Dance? There he is. And Dance is up by a lot as well. Heading up into Blanchimon and the bus stop chicane. Will Dance make it up to pole position, Vox?
Let's have a look. He's gone 7 seconds up. That's not enough to give Petrocam a bit of a fright, but that could well be enough to jump up. But we've just crossed the final minute. So this will be practically for other cars out who are on the lap. This will be the final lap, and the outlap cars, they need to do that 1 lap afterwards, and that's it for them. Dance, crossline P3, not enough to fight the top 2. But Allegro, incredible. 142.4. Oh dear.
Incredible, I must say so myself. The Sauber's finishing out laps. Forrest Jump finishing an outlap. We have a Red Bull of Ronin. He's on a lap. Careful for the Mercedes to not block. He gets out of the way just in time. Ronin to the line. Goes to 3rd. Great positioning for the Red Bulls at the moment. As who's next to cross the line? We have the McLaren of Chris starting a lap. We have a Williams starting a lap. We have the Atom going to P2 out of nowhere. We have the Haas of Petrocam, who's 4/10 up again. And taking pole. He improves his time, but not the position. The Ferrari's the next one to do a lap. That will be Sayerton. Not Sayerton. That will be... Where's... Oh no, it is Sayerton. He goes P3. The man in P14 at the moment, Gennaro, 7 seconds up. Goes to P7. And pole position for PFM by 0.4 of a second. Dance now 2/10 up. Where could this put him? Potentially, if he finds enough time in the last 2 corners, ahead of Gennaro again. Standing on the throttle for the last time for the Aston Martin team in this session, it is P8 for Dance. He has a reason to do a dance now in celebration. Sig Pampos up on his lap by a huge margin, heading into braking at the 100-meter boards. Down the gears into second gear. Exit up to third, up to fourth, up to third place for Sig Pampos. Next up is the Sauber of Hernando. It's in for its jump. Goes up to P2. Next up we have the Sauber. Where is he? There he is. Hernado's pits. Shock. Hernado's pits after being up on his lap by over 3 seconds. Is now the Williams of Reiki Stinky out of the last corner. Careful on the power. Takes that Williams. Not what? Where's he go? It doesn't say. He goes to P11.
And that's it. That's a qualifying session come to an end. The Red Bull is not doing another lap, so that's it. Pier Francesco is a pole sitter for Belgium. Incredibly well done with a 142.0, and the closest car for his jump with 2 tenths behind. Pier Francesco showing his power. He's been on the leaderboard at the top 3 once. Will he be again after tonight's race? For his jump, just could not fight. But Chris Racing, a championship leader, also 4 tenths behind the pole sitter. So Chris Racing is starting to feel the pressure a little bit from the drivers behind. And our new drivers, Ale Goloso, Sig Pampo, and Adam, showing that they are forces not to be reckoned with, because 4, 5, and 6 respectfully, that's something to look forward to. But now we have about 20 seconds until the session comes to an end. Of course, we're waiting for Ale Goloso to cross in, but I believe the game doesn't recognize that. So there we go. So the session comes to an end. That was it for now. For the final qualifying session, we will join you for the race session, and for that one, Del, I am excited to see what are you looking forward to, Joseph?
Wow, I'm looking forward to Sayers and Penna and Atom, because look at that qualifying gap. 2 thousandths of a second between the pair of them after what has to be the most hectic qualifying session I have ever experienced in my entire life. I don't know what just happened. That was an absolute lottery to see who gets onto the grid. Well, a talent lottery, I have to add. I am excited to see all these cars battle in various different points of the race.
We love varying conditions for exactly that reason. We will never know what will happen with the rain at the start and then going from dry. Here we are in the race. It's looking dry, but my eyes see clouds, and that is already a sign that we might see a mixed condition. Obviously, we don't have the radar, but it is very cloudy indeed. I don't see any light sources from the top except the lighter clouds. So we might see the strategies, and we're looking for what tires the drivers will go on. They now have the time to set the car up for the final time. The one thing they can change is the front wing and the differential between throttle in. So that's the 2 things they can change from park firmer. Is a rule that means set up. Put in qualifying will be set and done. No more changes except as I said, the front wing and the diff. And now they can change the fuel load and what the strategy will be. Of course, a few drivers I know have an extra friend as an engineer who helps them. But of course, the drivers who are alone need to figure that out alone. We'll have a bit more mental strain. But of course, we are always looking forward to a lot of strategies that are blown out. More fun strategies, more exciting strategies. So looking forward to what we'll see in the formation up. We will run you down the tires and the grid order one more time. So, Joseph, we will take just a little bit of a break as we have a few minutes until the session comes to a start. So a bit of us to take our breath, to catch our breath, and to the start of the race. So we will see you later. It was fun from us for the qualifying session, and in a few minutes time the race session will come to a start.
So we are ready for the formation lap.
Someone has broken the rule. There's supposed to be a bit of a break there. Someone has clicked go. Well,
Yeah.
let's run down then.
Oh, in the wall for someone on the formation lap.
Oh dear.
That's Kirko.
Oh dear. Mr. Kirkus already disqualified and pulled back onto the grid. No, he's gone. He's driving again. 50. What has happened there? He started
Doing the-
very late. He's doing a Sonny Hayes.
Looks like he's doing the grapple pit strategy.
He's doing a Sonny Hayes style of F1 movie. Obviously, no spoilers, but something similar has happened there. PFM and practically the whole grid starting on medium compounds except for Dan. So it will seem that we might be looking for one stop strategy except for Dan, so it's looking for two stop. Of course, we've heard from the server owner Satin Penner saying it's all down to the strategy, how much the tires will be consumed. Medium compounds could still be looking forward to a two-stop strategy if the driver does seem more confident on two tires. As I thought, I've done the math in my head. Two stops is just as fast as a one stop, maybe a second or so slower, but more confident. You have more power to put through the tires without having to be careful with the tire wear. So PFM starts in top spot. PFM and Cisco followed by Forrest Jump and McLaren's second driver Chris Racing. Then Aligolozio with Sek Pampo and SRP Adam. Three new drivers showing their name up in front. Satin Penner next down the grid, followed by Nosebo and Petrocam running down in P10 with Ricky Stanicki. One driver we have seen in the race having the spirit race, having a bit of a good battle. Looking forward to one more dance as Martin. His teammate not being here, Captain Teamless, so he's alone after Martin on track. Gerardo, the Ferrari, following in P13. Frankie in P14. Interesting there, Mr. Creco not following the qualifying ban rule, so he's starting in P15. So that will be looked at the switch after the race. We'll see the results. Then it's Hernano. Shock! Hernano being third in the standings is down in P16. So that will be tough. Kasi, sprint race winner, down in 17th. And no assist, down in 18th respectfully. So the cars are already lining up onto the grid. So what are we looking forward to, Joseph?
We're looking forward to Dance going up the order on the soft tyres, and we're looking forward to some of the most unpredictable racing ever. I think if I made a prediction now, I'd be doing a disservice to some of the drivers, so I'm going to let the action speak for itself here at Spa.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's the second time, time to the middle. He in Belgium, and it's Pierre Francesco taking the start, and he's gone from the start very well. But look at the house, how he collision with the Ferrari. So there's wing flying off. There's Aston Martin going off. There's 4 wide. Aston Martin joins back in last place. The cars of, I believe that is Petrocam. No, it's this one. A lot of damage. What's going on in front? Side by side through Eau Rouge there from Hernando and Ricky Stanicki. Then up in First Jump and Pierre Francesco already looking to swap position inside line for the Alpine. Can he keep it? Not quite. McLaren has an immense defense and stays in first place. Chris Racing could be looking for a bit of a switchback to the Alpine. He is on the inside, down the right-hander. What's going on the Alpine? He's got a bit deep, and that's Chris into second place. That's out on the back, Hernando. Off into last place, and what's gone? Aligolozo is looking to fight the Alpine.
Off one of the Hasses, Ganado as well. There was a touch between Sig Pampos and Asim heading into a Rouge, and that's why you might have heard me kind of fearing for my life there. There's damage to one of the Haas cars. That is Petrocam with half his front wing gone. There's battling up and down the field, and it's the McLaren 1-2. The default McLaren ahead of the Chrome McLaren. Then comes the Alpine, but it's an absolute warfare at the moment. And there's a little bit of a train developing from 14th lower. And they're all heading into Blanchimont together.
Up towards the bus stop chicane. It's looking nice and tidy up. And what's going on? The Mercedes! What has happened there? He started Louis. What was that? A huge seat into Monza turn 1. He's just spun into the corner, hitting, I believe it was Satin Penner who's involved there as well. And that is the right hand plate gone. I just caught on the corner of my eye. He's just spun into the bus stop chicane.
I thought you made an overtake on St. Pampas. Maybe there was some sort of contact.
Maybe indeed. Could have been a lookup, but
I
there we
just
go.
saw cars everywhere. That was.
Oh, the Williams is lagging all over the place and cuts the corner and rejoins back in P12 behind Carthy.
Yeah, there's the hassle of no assist looking for a move on dance, but not getting it. That has as well, no assist, just set the fastest first sector of the race so far. He's probably not been battling as hard as the cars, but I think that might have been a little bit of a slide for Ali Go Slow. As side by side between has some no assists on dance through Puon. That's incredibly risky between the pair of them. Carsey cutting his way through the field on the outside of pit path. He's now heading into the Stavolo corner. Meanwhile, there's battling between the front four, essentially.
Carthy has caught Mr. Creco into the entry of the pit path, have you heard? But he's already looking to the back of SRP Adam. There's no one ahead, so the slipstream will go down to Carthy's hand. He will get himself up into P9, started down to P16, already at the lap 2, stop into P10. And oh, what's happened?
Hananos just making contact with one of the Hasses through Blanchimon. Carbon fiber flew, and Forrest Jump has gone down the order. What's happened? He's
passed by Aligolozio.
But he's gone. Oh, he's been passed by the Red Bull. Meanwhile, Hananos has been passed by the Sauber, finally, and there's battling between the McLarens.
Here we go.
And the lead is taken by Chris. Chris takes the lead from the PFM car, and Carsey takes it from Asim. Ronin and Sebo are battling into like
contact between the two.
Making contacts. The Racing Bulls, Racing Bulls nothing on the Red Bull, as we have not a lot of battling elsewhere, but this is incredible so far. We're only 3 laps into the thing.
Chris Racing takes back the lead, as we saw. First Jump got back his podium position as well, so he got it as well with the DS help and the battery. But how low are they? We know that this sector here is easy for charging, so the flashing battery. Except Ali Goloto, he's not charging, he's staying on the medium battery flow, so he is using through the sector. For the people asking, the flashing behind the front wing, that the light, that means either the battery is below 10% or they are in charge mode or non-usage. So that is something to look forward to when thinking for strategies. But behind, it's getting close between Second Pen and the Saber, so looking for the bottom chicane. We could maybe see the Ferrari have a look, or Frankie as well. A Cartian, pardon me. He's looking for it, and he's going for it. Nicely done.
Yeah, he's made the mistake. Excuse me, incredible. That was. He got the move done even before they started turning in Williams round. Williams round on the exit of the bus stop. He is trying to make a move on Dance. That's no assist. Meanwhile, the battle for P. That's the last battle for P2 then, but no, it is. I think next time might be the battle for P1. It's in Penna, P7. He's looking to defend from Nancy. To the inside, says now, try another time. Zgardo, the Ferrari. Quite stinky, should I say.
Nicely done by Carthy.
Passed by. Yeah. Great moves there. Meanwhile, his Alpine teammate still looking to try and catch the McLaren's bit of dust on the inside tyre for Frankie. Carthy cutting his way through this field like he's a hot knife.
So looking forward with Francesco. Tough luck for him. He's out of the gate, so First Jump could have a chance to get the second McLaren, who started on pole position, to get him. Chris Racing has just checked out, said thank you for that, and now it's gone off with the medium couple. Of course, looking for the tire as well. You can't push too hard. You need to hit your mark, as I think the pits will start around lap 11, 12, if I'm not mistaken. So for the one stop. That is the pit window to look forward to. Pier Francesco is just outside the DH zone. The air detection is just before Rouge. So let's have a look at the detection there. I see the Garage and Suzuki Sabiki are close, but I'm looking at Forrest's jump. I will look at the onboard any second, as if Pier Francesco can't do it. He could get very close. Katsi overtakes Osebo, but here we go. Up Radion now, and that's an incredible. He's out of value, so the Alpine is out of value, so he needs to use the ends as much as possible. He's closing in, going towards. He's makes up visible, but it's just not close enough. He has to stay behind for another lap.
So close yet so far. There's a bit of a DRS train here for P5, the V-car with no Sebo, looking for a bit of clean air. Cool his brakes, I reckon. Meanwhile, the Sauber being caught. That's not Hananos, that's Sig Pampos battling for last with Petrocam.
No, that's Hananos.
No, that isn't. That is the battle between Noah and Hananos. Apologies there. There's a lot of trains forming, a lot of different groups of battles I can see at the moment.
What's going on?
Kasi gets ahead of one of the Red Bulls.
Absolutely not waiting at all. That was an incredible move that we would have not thought at all. That's risky as one could think. But now he's the leader of this little train here, and he has 7 seconds to gain to the 4th place driver of Aligolosio. Can he make it? Of course, there's still lots to go, but this is not a time where Kasi needs to think, is it smart to push through, use as much as tires and value as possible, or think strategy-wise if maybe the one stop or an undercut could look to gain him the time. But Forrest Jump now is the driver to really keep an eye on. He is closing in 6/10 to turn 1. He's using the as much as possible. He's using the front tire as much as he can. Down the hill now.
Kako goes wide.
Mr. Kliko got overtaken
Kako
by
battling with Mr. Hano. Nano goes around the outside of the bus stop corner. Great.
Let's have a look off the Alpine.
Go around Boston.
Yeah, and it's going to be an easy overtake.
It's the dance.
It's incredible by the Alpine of First Jump. Up into P2.
So that's the answer to how long will the soft tires last. That's been answered because Dance is in after six laps. Great move by Mr. Kirko, heading down to a Rouge. He's just done that nicely there. But meanwhile, the Haas goes through. And the Haas going through on the Ferrari here. No assist getting ahead and nearly running into the Kirko.
Progress round. Gerardo spun. Gerardo's round. Can he cover? No damage on the car. Have to rejoin. There's Sig Pampo coming.
Yeah.
He will come through and with the rejoin. Ooh, that was close. Too close for comfort. What tire has Dance gone on to? Let's have a look now. Dance is on the medium compound, so he will looking for a hard end or maybe a medium end. That will be looking forward to. But Pier Francesco slightly losing touch to Forrest Jump. Forrest Jump has clear air to gain to his rival in front. Chris Racer was the lead of the championship, now lead of the race. Forrest Jump close in second on the points, but with this gap it will be quite tough for him to gain back. Now let's look at P7. The Sabres gaining close to running up to the bus stop chicane.
Yeah. Big lockup for Ronin and very deep for no Sebo. Incredible between those two, but heading out of that corner. Into the pits for Asim. He pulls the trigger on strategy. He's the first man on the medium tyres to pit. So let's watch his pace. What tyres does he go on? I can see hard tyres. They are hard tyres for Asim. So let's watch his pace and let's see if he can maybe overcut some cars in the next few laps. And let's see also how people react to this as well in terms of strategy. If people pit now, or if they leave it a while and try and pit later on, if they have enough grip.
If that's a one-stop strategy, that is the one-stop that will be dragged out very long. We could maybe see Adam going into the danger zone for the puncture as 30 laps, I believe. 15 laps around Spa is no joke, as this is already a tire-consuming track. I believe if Adam is going on to, is doing this early, he could be maybe looking for undercut, but a two-stop strategy. He could be looking to maybe disrupt some strategies around the grid, but that is going to be a really tough call for a one-stop strategy. We will have to keep an eye on his pace as the race goes on.
Yeah, let's see, no one in the top 3 reacting to that pit stop from the last of the Mercedes cars currently, but let's see if the midfield potentially react to it. But the Red Bulls and the Racing Bulls now trying to hold off the Ferrari of Seat Penna to the inside for Penna, and to 7th place for the Ferrari, who gets ahead of the number 45 V-Carb entry. Now the number 67 of Frenkie heading into a regional rally on behind his teammate. And meanwhile, Mr. Carco, the second Mercedes in the pits. So the Mercedes pitting early. Very interesting to see what the Brackley-based squad are going to do. Meanwhile, Sebo gets the position back from Seat Penna, as now the Mercedes are now 16th and 18th, but they are the only men to pit in this race apart from Dance. So the bottom 3 of pit, the top 15 are still have to pit one more time in this race. But the Ferrari in a little bit of a V-carb sandwich here in P8, with a V-carb in front and a V-carb behind, looking to get out of this little predicament that he's in at the moment. As Atom gets the first penalty in the race. Yeah, and simultaneously Williams of incredible. So yeah, let's see if this battle between the Ferrari and the V-carb, let's see if that becomes anything.
This is an interesting call. Lap 8 now, as the leaders cross the line for lap 9. In about 1 to 2 laps time, we might see an actual stop for the one-stop strategy. Adam has already gotten a penalty. That's not really well for the strategy. He will probably come out in midfield if drivers going now. That's the Red Bull of running, jumping in, biting the bullet early. That's maybe a call for a second stop for a two-stop strategy. Lap 9. This could become the start. I can have a look at what the strategies could be, as I have a bit of inside information. Of course, if the drivers are listening, we hopefully don't give them a bit of information. But the strategy, well, that's not actually strategy for States. So Belgium, well, it's going to be a bit of a good luck for what the strategy could become. I wish that's. It's like the issues, but him will be
go deep at the bottom.
We heard there's Ricky Stanicki getting passed by Hernano. And get himself into P9 with that half a wing, basically still driving. Well, here for the 2nd place, we've also seen the change between the McLaren and the Alpine. P.F. back into P2, but well, the lead seems to be long gone. 2.8 seconds. I mean, the only reason why that's going down is that Pierre Francisco is using battery to defend from the Alpine. But, well, Chris seems to have it so far in the first half of the race in the bag. But, of course, I don't want to commentate because he's going in. He's jumping into stops for lap 10. This could be a call. Let's stay on him, see where he could be. Guerrero gets a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. What tire will McLaren go on? That's a hard compound. That looks to be a one-stop strategy for our first place driver, Chris. Kasi up into P3 as well. He's staying out, and of course the drivers should stay out now are on a definite one-stop strategy.
Lots of cars here. We have the two not both V cars. We have Ferrari and the V car in. We had Alain Gloslow in the pits as well, pitting 4 hard tyres. Lots of people on the in-lap. That's the Sauber of Anano, the Williams of Reiki Stinky, the Haas of no assists, and that's it for now. But it looks like over the next 2 or 3 laps, this is the pit stop days for the next next few laps of this race. The second stint is kicking in here at Spa as No Assist jumps Hanano in the pits. As meanwhile, the Mercedes of Atom gets a P13 in all of that. An overtake heading into a Rouge from Petrocam. He gets ahead of Reiki Stinky. But Stinky now on those fresher tyres might be able to make a move into the next corner. If that's close enough, which he's able to do just, but no, he's not close enough to get ahead. A side by side between No Assist and Nano. And Nano gets denied by the No Assist, who says no way through for you, Mr. Sauber. The Sauber looks for the inside, denied of that one too. So it looks like no move's going to be made. Let's see how the top two react to it. Into the pits for PF and into the pits for Forest Jump.
It will be a double stack for the Alpines as Kati jumps in as well. Interesting call there from the teammates. I believe the gap is just big enough that once Forest Jump leaves, Kati will follow in. Let's have a look. Will he be held? No! That's a perfect ball! That is just about perfect. Where will Kati come out in compared to Chris Raceman? Chris is absolutely gone. The undercut. Absolutely fantastic. As Pierre Francesco comes out 3.5 seconds behind nearly. Forest Jump loses about a second in that stop. And Bakasi has gained to his teammate a second. So Kati is gaining slowly but steady. So we could see Kati being a contender for the podium position as the race goes on. Second Penner goes up at the P9. Obviously now it's interesting who will take another stop. Who will go to the end? I believe the drives who's gone in now. That's the final call now. But the drives who've gone in around lap 7, lap 8, that will definitely have another one. Another stop in. Maybe even a soft stint that will be seen for later.
Yeah, as the undercut works for McLaren then, as Chris and PF were able to come in and get out ahead of both Alpines despite the double stack. Also, No Sebo and Seat Penna both able to jump Frankie and gain about a second on him in that pit stop phase. So Frankie losing time in that phase as meanwhile round 4, who's that? That's the Aston Martin dancing in rough waters for the Dutchman. Now side by side with Mr. Kirko, who goes flying around the outside, nearly wide as well at the Malbany corner. Yeah, it's crucial for the McLarens. And side by side between Hanano and Reiki Stinky. And Stinky just falls behind in that battle. Lock up for the car in front of Petrocam. As the Mercedes wide as well. We could see a potential move between the Haas of No Assist and Reiki Stinky, but also the Sauber and the practically based Mercedes car. Is a move going to be made by the Sauber on board? At least on my point of view, the Sauber of Hanano, and Hanano says no, not this time.
It's a change for the P2 here.
No.
Forest Jump gets past the McLaren, and I think I might need to add his name is Ricky Stenicky, not Stinky. Probably poor guy doesn't deserve being called that.
Oh, right.
There's an I still in there. I kind of found it a bit funny how the way you pronounce it. Correct you now. There's a crash. Ricky Stenicky is out. No, this guy cursing. That's a virtual safety car. No, I didn't need to do that. Oh, poor guy. I just called him and unfortunate. That's a virtual safety. Full safety has been called. The full safety car has been called. It's a full safety car.
Maybe I was doing him a favour calling him Ricky Stinky instead of Stinky, because by the time we said his name, he was out. Oh, that is horrible timing.
That is
for us in commentary, and that is horrible from Stinky.
That is commentator's curse kicking in at its finest. So who will go in now to take this a basically free pit stop? If the Ants drives to have a second set of hards, we could maybe see a new stop. Maybe if there's a second set of mediums, because the second will probably stay out for a few laps. What will Chris do? Chris takes the bait and goes in.
Oh,
Chris bites and goes in. What tire?
Forest stays out, the PF stays out.
That's
It
now
goes
instead of half.
Carsey. Is he gonna go in? Carsey goes in, and so does Ali Golo Solo. So that's interesting. I'm gonna wait to see if Sig Campo comes in the Sauber. This is very, because this safety car came out just after that whole pit stop phase, so it's very tricky. Do you stay out on the tyres that you literally just pit for, or do you gamble it and go for some fresher tyres, slightly fresher tyres, get you potentially to the end of the race better, in for Sig Pampo, and not in for anyone else behind unless Petrocam comes in. And Petrocam does come in. The other Sauber stays out, in for Atom. This is going to work for Mercedes now, because they can pit for a fresh set of mediums. And remember, they pitted very early compared to anyone else. So this kind of puts them back into the pecking order. And there's a massive front wing damage for Atom, so he must have had some sort of issue before this safety car, because he has lost his entire front wing.
Was he in
pit lane?
Was he involved in the incident with Vicky Stanicki, I wonder? But one thing I gotta add on, Carsey has basically gotten a free pit stop in. He is losing no time. What he is gaining is all the time that was between him and the cars in front. So Carsey is looking, and I think I was kidding in the cropping. He could be looking for last to first practically here in Belgium. Nothing is holding him back now.
Yeah. That is incredible if he pulls this off. And yeah, everyone catching up to the safety car. Then we have this intervention after the Williams. Oh, it's been such a bad week for Williams, hasn't it? They missed the real life 2026 shakedown due to quote car build practices, which, from what I understand, is not having the car particularly ready for the shakedown. But now even in sim racing, here in Cockpit Real Racing, we have the only Williams in the race now out of it. And after battling so well in the sprint, it comes to nothing but the Bernd Mailander leads the field round the bus stop chicane. Everyone from Everyone from 11th down is yet to catch up. This is, it's intervention time here at Spa.
As a rule that I've made was that once the safety car starts, we will get on board with the Alpine, listen to that engine roll for the race start, and then the commentary will go on. But right now, what we are thinking is, what could the strategy be looking like? We have another car, Petrocam, goes in again. Didn't he just go in? Yeah, Haas, he's gone in again. He was on the soft compound. That was an interesting call. But now he's on the mediums. And with that, he can definitely go till the end. He will lose the position to the Mercedes and to Aston, going down into P. Just the Mercedes. The Aston was just behind. Unfortunate. But Petrocam got on a fresh set of mediums, as that is a call. But now up in front, first two drivers, first jump and Pierre Francesco, they are on used medium hard. 3 laps used, but still used. And as we saw them drive, they went tooth and nail on their cars. So those medium hards are definitely slightly used in compared to our Chris Racing and Carsey's fresh hards. And right now, behind the safety car, there's practically no usage if you drive carefully. And at about, I believe, end of this lap, we might see the safety car in as the whole group minus Mr. Krieger is caught up. If Mr. Krieger catches up just before the bus stop chicane, we could see the safety car go in and have about a 7-lap sprint race again. Who will take it? Ali Goloso is one driver that I definitely have my eyes on. As he's on the medium compounds, fresh mediums. So something that looks, he could be the fastest car in compared to tire situation. But how will it be? I believe Mr. Krieger will just not catch, so we'll be another lap behind the safety car. So looking forward, how could this go?
Not too sure, to be honest. Also, watch out for Sig Pampos. He's also on medium tyres, as well as everyone from 13th lower is also on mediums. So we could have some massive midfield battles. No,
Dan's retired.
because Dance is out and he's
What
crashed. That's not him retiring. His wheel is gone. Who is it with? Not. I haven't heard that in a long time. But there's front wing damage to the Hazard Petrocam.
That looks to be the cause
So
of the
that's a
incident.
In the investigation.
Petrocam even has pitted for fix and everything, so I believe Petrocam had a little collision with Dance, which caused his retirement under the safety car, I might say. So pretty much unsafety car here.
Yeah.
And the reference I just made with the Ericsson hit him was the 2018 Baku Grand Prix. Just a little bit of a joke there from the F1 fans. But yeah, let's look. Dance leaves the session, and it is definitely the final lap behind the safety car. It will be racing the first jump, leading off the grid, leading off the grid, and I will, as tradition goes, I will take over for the first corner, and then we will be back to normal commentary. But looking forward till the end of this lap. Well, that's everyone has caught up. This is just basically just a little bit of snaking, get the temperatures up, get the tires ready, get the brakes ready. Very important. Something that many drivers do forget is to get the brake temperatures up as well, as often the tires often some drivers just weave. Oh, Mr. Krieger has done a bit of an incident, I believe. What's happened there? Lost the position.
Yeah, there's a lot of position changing in the back of the pack. I'm not too sure what happened there. Is that? No. Oh wait, the Mercedes front wing's just. I thought the front wing was gone on one of the cars, on one of the Mercedes cars, but no, the front wings are just coloured black, which from afar looks like the front wing isn't even there. It's like camouflage.
But that's the plan.
Yeah, so Gus should be in and through pit path.
We'll get the new message at the top, and also in the top left. If there's still a yellow flag there, it's just a game glitch. There will be no yellow flag once the safety car goes in. So here we go, safety car in the slab. So let's hop on board with the Alpine. Silence to hear the engine roar. Now that was a pickup if I've ever seen one. He's let the grid slow down to a halt until the entry of the bus stop, and that's PFM going wide into the entry. Bit of a drift for Chris racing. Here we are back racing. Kasi, Chris, fresh tires. Galosio, Ale Galosio, fresh mediums. Where will he be? Up in front, first up, an incredible start. PFM just reacted just a little too late, but running absolutely got left in the dust. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's only Ale Galosio looking, closing in, getting ever so edging, ever so close. He's right on the rear diffuser of the Alpine, and that's an incredible start. Ale Galosio takes off a massive gap down.
Tokyo gets ahead of Petrocam into Lacombe. That was the only overtake that I saw down into turn 5 on that restart. Very calm and collected on that green flag. When the full course yellow gets aborted, the safety car goes in. Normally there's more moves than that, but they all kind of spaced out, kept it clean, although side by side is poo on for the Ferrari in the Haas. Not going to make it stick into that corner on that particular occasion. The Saubers also getting very close together, I have to say so myself. Yeah, looking very calm and collected in this field on this safety car restart.
As we now looking at the top 5, they are distant half a second each. Satin Pennis turns into Noah Saber, who doesn't have slipstream. He's got caught napping, and Satin Pennis could have a look. My eyes are still glued to the times in front as start of next lap. Yes, we'll be back in Edmonton for the Campbell Straight. the DS will be just like normal, open and available. Here we go. We see the message. Oh, it's almost a side by side. We hear it there. Could we see a switch back over to Hernando? Not quite. So he sticks behind, but he's very close to the rear diffuser. He's looking for the inside. Could he outbreak his teammate? Yes, he does. He's for the inside. He keeps the traction on the hard combo. Could even have a look on Frankie. Not quite, but look at Chris on the rear diffuser's teammate. He's looking for the outside. Straight race down the back straight towards Lecom. It's crazy. He's stunning. He's back up into P2 with the fresh tires. Kasi has to look behind for Allegolozio. Hernando gets past the Racing Bull down into Lecom. Maybe his teammate has a bit of a late break. Who's the latest of the late breakers there? It says Hernando. And now his next victim will be Penna. So let's see how that will play out. Up in front, Chris, half a second to throw its jump.
Yeah, incredible battles up and down the field. Hernando getting right up ahead. Frankie saying, nah, I'm okay, I'm bored behind your car. I want to go chase after that Ferrari that's battling between the Mercedes and the Haas. The Haas with that front wing damage. Petrocam losing the 84 Haas. Losing his front wing. Towards the Haas down to the outside with a damaged front wing on the Mercedes. And Mr. Marco goes round in the gravel. He pirouettes. The Toyota Haas is backwards after a collision with one of the Mercedes. Absolute heartbreak there. Meanwhile, the other Haas is following in this big train of cars to the inside for Sig Pump. That's Hernando and Blanchimon. And his teammate as well, looking for a Racing Bull. What is up with the Selvers and Blanchimon here on lap 18? They are really punchy. One gets the move on the other, not quite yet. Incredible battles, and the leaders got the battle for third, should I say. Oh, Mercedes making contact. Meanwhile, the battle for P3 could be on.
For the lead here, Chris in the back slipstream in the DS. Absolutely no battle there. He gets past. Can Bukati get past as well? He's side by side towards Lecom, who's brave on the brakes. It could be Kasi. He's brave on the traction. He gets it. He loses it. It's crazy. Kasi up into the podium position from P16. What has he done?
That's a great move on the outside by Kasi. Racecraft from a magician. I must say so myself. As that is very crafty indeed. Wow, I am in awe of that move. As meanwhile, further down the pack, heading into No Name, they have a train between the cars behind the Red Bull and the Sauber. So that's Sebo holding up Sayat and Penna. Big battles between them, the Alpine and the McLarens. Battle for fourth in the Constructors in 2022 is now the battle for the lead in Cockpit Real Racing here in 2026. Incredible.
As we see here in the back, Sig Pampo is close again through Blanchimont. He has the battery still advantage. He's just getting close to the top speed. It's just a bit better. Chris Racing goes for fastest lap. Hernando goes past the Red Bull of running up into P6. He was in shambles at the start of the race. Now he's nowhere shambled. He's going crazy. And Katz is closing his teammate. Those fresher tires are really night and day difference. But first jump just barely clinging on the edge of Chris Racing. So Katzy's overtake attempt will need to be a bit more difficult. That's also Satin Penna getting past Sig Pampo, but Sig Pampo couldn't manage to really fight it back. But here we go. Katzy to his teammate through now Lecom. Is still behind, but we know the traction difference. It's heaps different between the two. We could maybe have a look down through the right-hander if there's maybe an overtake opportunity, an opening maybe. There's only 5 tenths between the two. Chris is still in touching distance from the Alpine, so if Kasi gets past, Chris will be the only roadblock to get to that lead. The Mercedes are still battling.
Sorry to cut in there, but that was Campbell's looking for a move on Satin Penna. He nearly got overtaken by Frankie. This battle is getting really close. But yeah, sorry to cut in there, but that was a move into what is known as Malmedy Corner, which is that hairpin just after the Lecom complex. Big battles going on in the midfield.
Exactly what we remember from the sprint race. It's again a four-way, nearly five-way battle here. The closest battle we see so far, but again, the top four, top three now are close together. If Forrest jump loses that DRS to Chris Racing, he can kiss that P2 goodbye as Kasi is just clinging on to that rear diffuser of his teammate. But it looks like he's just lost a little bit of time through turn one. We see by eyes on Frankie and the midfield battle. We see Sig Pampo trying again. He's close to throw. The throw locks up.
Ooh.
He's getting it on the inside. That was pretty much an open move. He just says, thank you so much for leaving the door open. He's just taking it. P9 and Sam Penna now is under pressure from the VCAP behind. But I'm sorry, I have to cut in front. That's a teammate switching around. Kasi goes into P2 position. And with 2 laps to go, Kasi, it's a realistic chance of a win here. Can he do the impossible sprint win? Last to first race win? Maybe. My eyes, I'm betting my money on this as for P11, no assist gets past Frankie.
This is incredible. 2 laps. 1 second. The 1 second gap between P1 and P2 to close down in this Belgian Grand Prix track. 7 kilometers is the length of this track. When we next cross the line, we'll have 14 kilometers of racing for these drivers to cover to decide the win. Just gonna have a look at the Sauber here of Sig Pampo. He is on a late race charge. He's got the absolute race cry. He's on those medium tires and just charging up the field like he is like anything I've ever seen before. He's now gonna head through what is his favorite section for overtaking, this final sector of the track. He lets all his battery down. Kasi sets the fastest lap. That will be important for his battle for the win. Little touch of the grass there for Sig Pampo. Is he going to make the move on the V-carb? Not just yet. Petrocam out of the race. At the place where Sig Pampo's teammate went off in the sprint, Petrocam goes from having a damaged front wing to having a fully damaged car. He becomes the 3rd man to retire from this race. Let's have a look at the battle for the lead. How close is it getting? Half a second. At this pace, Kasi, should I say, will make that move next lap at the place that we just left. Sig Pampo gets a penalty.
Oh, that will demote him down to P12.
Oh, such a shame. But on track, it's such a good performance. Is he about to show why it's such a good performance again? Not quite yet. V-carb no 7. Oh, racing between the Haas and the Ferrari of Penna. Penna having to defend from no assist, who was right alongside the Ferrari. The Toyota Haas looking for a move, not quite getting it, sadly. But yeah, looks like they've all calmed down for now. But we are entering the final lap. And that is when calm goes out the window and conflicts in carbon fibre crashing into each other is recommended, let alone suggested to happen in this league. So let's see what happens up at the front. Just over 7 kilometers of racing to go for these 2 drivers. Will it be Kasi or will it be Chris to clinch the win? Will it be an Alpine victory for the number 34 car? Or will it be not bad for a number 2 driver for the Chrome McLaren of Chris? They blast down to a Rouge and Radion. The pink and blue Alpine versus the orange and silver McLaren.
Here we
blast down the Camel Straight. Is he close enough?
No, he's not closing in. He's both are out of battery. That could have been it. No Zimmer gets past, and here we are for the final time through Le Combe, through Village now, and now down the hill. He's not close enough, but again, there's just one more opportunity, maybe 2 if you're risky, for after Pouon and into the bus stop. So there's 2 more opportunities for the Alpine to take. But in the back, Sig Pampo is also very close. He's taking a position onto the V-carb.
Sig Pampo! Whoa! Contact with the V-carb!
And
round for the Red Bull! Round!
The
Red
Red Bull
Bull
Ram!
spins. That is
No!
absolute shame. Goloso on the last lap loses not just 4th but 5th. He goes to 6th and looks like he'll stay there. He's got front wing damage. His teammate is rapidly closing on him. Meanwhile, that whole battle is side by side between the V-Carb and Stink Pampo. The V-Carb goes wider than I've ever seen anyone go through there in a while.
The
Stink
Alpine!
Pampo loses the position to the Ferrari.
The mechanic goes
Battle for
defensive!
the lead.
The mechanic!
No, he doesn't
No, the
get it.
mechanic just gets
Doesn't
it!
get it.
And it's Chris Racing wins in Belgium with Cassie in second, Forrest Jump P3, and Pier Francesco finishes P4, and that's the closest finish I've seen for the win in this league. That's incredible! Incredible! I'm at a loss of words. That is absolutely stunning.
And the racing isn't over, because Seat and Penna round the outside of No Sabo on the end of the race. Not quite getting it, but he couldn't have got closer. As they were side by side over the line, the gap for the 8th place was closer than the gap for the win. And Sig Pampo out of the race. Oh no, he's just disconnected actually. No, ignore that. There's the Mercedes are the last cars to finish this race. And what a race. What a session it's been here tonight.
Oh, I genuinely don't even know how to even shorten that, say it shortened those final laps. It was absolutely perfect, absolutely, it's just crazy. Chris absolutely deserved that win, no doubt about it. He's been absolutely amazing, a flying rocket on track. Bakasi made it just meters different on the line. Chris's defense was absolutely important out of the exit of the bus stop, but that was crazy. And with a 2-3 podium for Alpine, they are definitely looking to jump up in the podium, in the constructors, as the Kick Saubers did not have a super race in compared to what the McLaren and Alpine did. And so, with I believe the Kick Sauber being in the lead of the race, in the lead of the constructors, they are gonna take a beating. So let's look at here. Race winner by the of course Chris Racing. Fastest lap goes to Kasi, and according to the game, Kasi gets over today. Of course, I have to say it honestly, I gets my vote as well. Most overtakes Kasi, can't say anything. Cleanest driver according to the game was running, and well, the top 5 are Chris, Kasi, Forrest Jump, Pier Francesco, and Ali Golosi, who got P5 out of the points, but that's, here we go, through the race result. That's Chris, Kasi, Forrest, Pier Francesco, and Hernano. Well, wow. Genuinely, I cannot stress how amazing, how crazy this race is. It's got me screaming now at 11:30 at night here in Europe. I genuinely probably have woken up about half the house of my neighbors, but I can't say that it was worth it to watch and to commentate over this. Well, I genuinely can't think of what to ask for the interviews, as of course we will have the interviews coming in. Are you interested to think? So we have Chris, our leader, already in. Of course, hold on. I'm not even fast enough to switch back. Here we are. We have Chris Racing, but I believe we are going from top to bottom. So Chris, from the top 3, absolutely deserved win. Chris, how you feel after that?
Nah, bro, it wasn't deserved. I mean, I didn't do any lap on this track. I was straight from Le Mans into Formula One. I did not train for this race, and it's a bit satisfying to win in this case. It's a bit more satisfying, you know. I didn't know that there was Carsey. He is an extremely fast driver, and he was going to get me. If there was another lap, I don't know. I think he could have won the race. And what can I say? It's nice to be again in the first place, you know. Even though I did not train in this case, just in this case, just in this case. No, there was a dream. There was a dream to win a race without doing any laps.
Well, there we go.
And,
Here you have it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
I'm
that.
sorry.
Race the train.
Sorry. It's just true. Just
Ask.
true.
Very humble,
What?
saying, I don't no practice win. Easy, he
Yeah,
says.
bro. Yeah,
Easy.
no practice win.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
well, Chris. With this, you will definitely increase your lead in the drivers' championship. Two ahead now. No, first jump, of course, was beaten by the teammate. We will hear very soon. But well, what do you well, Chris? How do you feel jumping up more points in the standings and maybe even bringing McLaren into the lead of the constructors?
I want to keep going to put this gap between us. Honestly, that's I think that's the whole point for now, at least. And I feel great because I wasn't first in the first part of the season. They were really competitive, and now for now, I guess I'm back. But I don't know. There are a lot of races ahead of us. So for now, it's looking great.
That's
For now.
absolutely well seen. Of course, racing. That's how racing is. One time you're at the top, one time at the bottom. You can't win all of them.
Yeah.
Not even Max Verstappen could. So, well, that was my questions to you, Chris. Joseph, do you have anything to ask him?
I
Not
just
really.
want to say
Oh,
thanks for
oh,
that
oh,
because that
okay.
was entertainment at its peak. I have to say so myself. And the rivalry between McLaren and Alpine, I thought it was heated in 2022 over Oscar Piastri, but oh, I was wrong. So yeah, massive thanks, and yeah, great first race to commentate on. I must say so myself.
Well, thank you, Chris. Absolutely deserved win. You've been spectacular to watch with your sprint catch as well. You've been absolutely fun to watch. I just have to add on, Joseph. Exactly. That was perfect racing from you, even with no practice. Incredible. Enjoy this
Yeah.
win. Enjoy the high that you currently have, because I think next week, let me have a quick look what the race will be. Of course,
Oh,
thankfully, no.
Hungary. Yeah,
Hungary.
Hungarian Grand Prix.
Well,
Yeah.
I can tell you now from knowledge, Hungary is the Monaco without walls, so qualifying will probably be the most important thing to be set
Yeah.
done there. Pardon me there. So we will definitely will see you in Hungary. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for thank you for the interview, and well, enjoy this weekend with the win in your hands. Well, you fully deserve it. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, mate. Thank you guys for your commentary.
Absolutely. That's what we do. That's what we're here. Well,
That's what we're here for, yo.
well, that's Chris, race winner and currently championship leader. We're going now to P2 finisher, Kasi. Well, free new name here in the league, and well, I say new name. I think you've raced one race, but well, still fresh, new to this league. How do you do that? How did you just do that from sprint win, from no qualifying in the race, and then still finishing nearly first place with well one more lap? How do you feel even just missing the first place, but still being practically driver today in my book? How do you feel, Cassie?
Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had a quali ban because I never know on a Friday like when I will if I'll be free. So I can only like check in really late. So I always have a quali ban when I race. So yeah, I don't think I've ever raced here not starting last, but I had a lot of fun. Everyone was really clean, and the pace of the top four guys was so fast. So I got lucky with the safety car. That's the only reason I could fight for the win. But it was a lot of fun.
Well, absolutely spectacular. As I said, it was absolutely fun watching your race. You had a perfect sprint qualifying. You were 6 tenths up to P2 with only one lap, and you called it there. You decided, the rain was coming in. What was your thought in qualifying after doing that one banker lap?
Um, I I knew I only had one set of soft tires, so I wanted to get the lap in early before there was any rain. I was really happy because I had also done no practice for this. I came home from the bar having a few drinks like 10 minutes before the lobby opened. So that was my first lap. I was really happy to get a clean one in, for qualifying. and then the sprint race kind of let me get my consistency up. That kind of was my practice for the main race, you know.
Irish, right? You're from Ireland.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I could have guessed just saying you went from a drink and then 10 minutes back. That's very Irish of you.
Yeah, we're better at driving. Yeah, we get better at driving when we've had a drink, you know.
Well, the closest I've been to an Irish was the group of, let me have a look again. I think it was um Foils, Arms, and Hog. I saw them live, the Irish comedy group, and I think
Oh, very
Dave
good.
actually spectacularly explained being Irish is. So you just pointed to a T how well it is. But well, congratulations from this amazing weekend here. You've just shown potential, shown that you are no force to be reckoned with. And what are you looking forward to in the rest of the season?
It just hopefully I can race a little bit more. And quite often I play badminton on a Friday, so only if like it gets called off can I race here. So hopefully I can do a few more races and just have a lot more good battles. Obviously, I've no like stake in any kind of championships, so just want to have fun.
You are probably going to become a roadblock in someone's championship battle. As of course, your driving is absolutely spectacular. So, of course, other personal things can come in the way, but I hope if you join for the races that we will just see an absolutely spectacular race you've shown us today. And well, I just have to thank you and congratulate you to the win and the P2 finish. Like very, very consistent, even with the quali ban. You've just shown that you're a driver that should be shit if they see a name. People should say Shiver Me Timbers. I just can't put in better words. Well, that was a champion's drive from you. Sad to say, of course, that you can't be a full-time driver. But well, what matters is you had fun and you can give us in the commentary and the viewers, ladies and gentlemen at home, an absolutely fun to watch. And well, into the final corner, I myself have screamed out my lungs, nearly seeing that switchback opportunity of yours. Well, absolutely, thank you so much from my side. Um, those are my questions to you, Joseph. If you'd like to jump in.
Well, I guess although you're a new name in the league, you've certainly made your name in the league now. I think people will remember you after this one. So, yeah, I just. How do you do it? I guess.
I've been playing. I'm 23 years old, and my dad has had me playing Formula One games since I was 20 or since I was 2. So I was like a toddler in a high chair playing F1 2003 on my PlayStation. So it's kind of my dad wouldn't let me not be fast.
I
Fair.
know. PlayStation.
You got the
F1
Jos
days.
Verstappen treatment for the F1
Yeah,
games.
pretty much. Yeah.
Well,
Incredible.
thank you so much.
It's clearly working.
Yeah. Thank you so much for commentating, guys.
Yeah, cheers.
As we said, that's what we do here.
That's our name.
That's our name. Well,
That's what we're here for, hell.
we're gonna hear that one more time after first jump. Thank you, Cassie. Enjoy this absolutely fantastic sprint race and the podium you got. Enjoy it into the weekend. Probably another a pause will be in there. Pub visit.
I might go back for a few more drinks.
I mean, absolutely deserved. Well, those are celebration drinks in my book. And so, well, Cassie,
It's a Friday.
congratulations. Making your name
Yeah,
big in this league already. And, well, with that, we have one last driver to interview here. First jump, P3 finish with a, believe, P2 finish in the sprint, if I'm not mistaken, with 2 Alpines finish 1-2. So, first jump, double podium in this Belgium weekend. And definitely being back in P2 in the standings, closing in, overtaking Hernando, but not closing in enough to Chris. What were your thoughts throughout this weekend?
Yeah, first of all, hello. Yeah, my thoughts. Yeah, I thought Chris was gonna be fast as always, right? And I thought also Hernandez would be very quick, but he had a bit of an unlucky weekend. I don't know what happened in the sprint. He touched me a little bit on the straight, lap one, and I hope I didn't crash him because there was a huge crash behind me. Yeah, well, overall, I'm happy with the finish on the podium, and yeah, good points.
Well, that's great to hear. What as we heard from the sprint, there was a bit of contact in the turn one. Pardon me, the kick had a bit of a good start there. He could have nearly jumped both of the two Alpines with you included there. Well,
Yeah.
outside of that, being behind your teammate, how was that sprint battle between the two of you? Because you've switched positions a few times.
That was just I was just too slow. I mean, like my teammate had like a rocket engine or something like that, and yeah, I was just a tractor behind. Yeah, he's very quick, and yeah, GG's.
The second driver treatment coming in here live from the broadcast. We hear that, well, the cars seem not to be too similar, but well, I'm sorry to say the regulations say the cars are the same, so I think maybe it is up to the driver. Of course, I don't want to say nothing bad here. You've done your best and actually got a massive position, but in the race you've been battling with Pierre Francesco. You guys were switching around. What was your thought after you finally got him after the safety car?
Yeah, full push and just run forward, run. But I couldn't run fast because yeah, I didn't have. I should have pitted. Like looking back, I should have definitely pitted, but yeah, it is what it is.
Well, a P3 finish really bit better could have been, but well, what could have been is a big subject. You finished P3 and that's the accent. And with the Constructors Championship I have it in front of me, the Cake Sauber team will definitely take a big hit after this race. McLaren, as I said to Chris Upper, will take the Constructors lead with a McLaren driver being in the lead. That's incredible. But you, as Alpine, will definitely will definitely have taken a big jump against the Cake Sauber team. So what are you as a team looking to maybe jump the Kick Sauber in the future, or do you think that's a bit too much to ask for?
I hope my teammate is more often here. We can do this every weekend. Then it's easy going. Yeah, I hope he's more often here, and I hope he's my teammate.
Right, that's on my side. Thank you for this jump, Joseph. Do you have your final words?
Just want to get your thoughts on whatever in the heaven happened in that mental qualifying session. When was it that you realised that the dry tyres were quick, and was it a panic to get out as quick as possible to try and get a lap in?
You mean in the sprint qualifying?
In the full qualifying, when it went from wet to dry.
Oh, that was pretty straightforward. Yeah, dry tires when it's dry, right? But in the sprint, it was like, yeah, you had to be very quick. I saw there was a chance of rain, and yeah, I was the first car out on track. I saw the rain and just bolted on the setup, and good luck. In the sprint, it was more difficult. A lot of people like didn't see the rain, and yeah, I saw it
Yeah.
luckily.
Yeah, very, very lucky that you saw it, because I think it was quite easy to tell who had seen it and who hadn't seen it, because you had some people who would pit early and switched on to the wets quite early, and then some other people who were driving in the wet thinking, "Oh, I need to box quick."
Yeah,
So, yeah, but yeah, no, great race, and yeah, hope to see more of it next week.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go.
That's what we're here for. Oh my god, I'm melting. Well,
I have to say it.
there we go. That's the
Thank
final
you.
time we will hear it. Well, also something nice for us to look back. We now have a stream as well, the broadcast. Something that I want to again knock on. We are not the only broadcast, of course, on the channel. If you click on this channel now, we will also see a Spanish broadcast brought by our Spanish commentator. I believe it's Naza OJ. Very nicely, in a very. I hope the commentary there is nice as well. I just have to say from my side, I have ruined my voice, and with well, I said ruined my voice feels fine, but I have screamed my lungs out for majority of the weekend because it was just amazing racing. Thank you all drivers so much for bringing this action, and I hope that our partners in the Spanish commentary had the same or even more fun. Well, I just have to say we have two broadcasts depending on what language you want, English and Spanish. We are currently here watching the English broadcast, and this will go on for the future as far as we see. So if you're looking forward to have a bit of a bilingual, maybe learn a bit of stuff as well. We don't know, it's the way you learn, but we have two streams, and with our new second commentator Joseph coming in with tonight's being his first commentary, I have to say also congratulations to you. It was absolutely amazing, absolutely spectacular commentating alongside you here. And well, that was that's basically my final thoughts throughout the weekend. Thank you for the top three drivers, for the thank you for the podium drivers here for this amazing race. I just have to say, absolutely spectacular throughout the strategy and also the chaos that's brought to us. And well, I hope to see you all in Hungary next week, Friday, 9:30 p.m. for our Central European time zones, fellas. For the British time zone, it's 8:30. Of course, if I think the Discord is in the description to join there as well, be a part of the community. And well, I just have to say thank you so much for watching. Those were my final words. Joseph, do you have anything to say?
Just echoing what you've said. Thank you very much. If you really enjoyed it, hope I implore you come back next week, same time, same place. Thank you very much, and goodbye.